Ready for this?
I'm ready.
Deep dive, the wood lineup. It's all about the wood at Wyrmwood. Jason, look at this table! How do they color it so well? Like what kind of staining, what kind of dyes?
This is Mother Nature's own work right here. All the woods you are about to see are not stained or dyed. This is true to life, no special effects.
Satin clear coat.
It's got a very nice sheen. It's a little bit reflective, but it's not like glossy, which will show up all the fingerprints and stuff like that. It looks like a oil finish, like a traditional oil finish. Very close to the wood. Padauk shows it off great because you can see the texture in the grain because it's an open grain wood. It's not just like a plastic coating finish. You actually see these little pockets of grain, which I like.
All of these woods are woods that they make flooring out of. Oh, can you hear that?
It's gonna kill us.
Hey, no, it's great. Where are they going?
Backwards.
None of the woods we offer are like a soft pine or a softwood. They are all woods that are used in flooring applications and furniture applications in terms of durability. So, Jason, what wood do you want to start with?
I think we should start at the most affordable, Eastern Elm.
So let's talk about, so this is elm. So on this side of the table is what we call the rustic elm, and then this side we just call elm.
The biggest difference you're going to notice between all of the rustic grades versus the regular grades is these are finger jointed panels. So you can see you have seams along the length, whereas this guy has no seams. These are continuous boards the whole way. And then you're also going to have solid knots. Here you can see a little bit bigger of a dark knot on the rustic grade. That will all be graded out on the Eastern Elm.
And a lot more affordable.
You're paying more for the clear grades of wood because there's a higher waste factor when we are making them.
Woodworking, a good workshop is around a 40% waste factor. Meaning if they take in 1,000 board feet, 400 of those board feet end up in a dumpster as either wood chips or cut-offs or any number of things. The rustic grading allows us to reduce that waste, which is why it is more affordable.
Elm's pretty nice. It's a open grain wood, so it has a lot more of that texture that you'll see. Got a lot of like yellow and green hues in it, which is pretty nice and pretty unique.
Great entry level. I like this a lot more than the maple. Not that no one likes maple, like I know you love maple, but it's very, very light. I can't think of a room that this wouldn't look good in.
Let's just go up the price ladder.
Well, maple is lateral. We're back with maple.
Big difference here.
Probably the most drastic difference between the rustic and the clear.
Because the rustic, we are including heartwood. On most woods, you want the heartwood of the tree. Maple is a weird exception. On maple, the sapwood is most of the tree, and then the heartwood is sort of darker gray. So the rustic is including the heartwood. The premium is pure sapwood. Kind of the opposite of cherry and walnut.
So these big gray spots is that heartwood, there's knots, there's the finger jointing. So it is a lot more chopped up and segmented than this clear, all sapwood maple. That will include very small sound pinhole knots, sometimes you call them, but very, very, very small in comparison to something like this on the rustic.
Like I love this. Like that's gnarly. And then I also, look at this. You get some chatoyance down here.
Hey,
can you see that?
Looks like ripples.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm seeing it now.
Yeah.
What's the next wood? Oh, cherry. Cherry is married. People love cherry.
So cherry, this is Bobby's.
Yeah.
Why don't you describe why you love this wood? What is it about cherry that you love?
Well, one, it patinas. So a patina is like the natural aging process of not only wood, but other things, like metal can patina, for example. It's just kind of like that natural wear and tear that something gets when it's in use. And a lot of cool variety in the grain, but not so much color. Like look at how different this is from say like this straight grain here, but it's all super uniform.
Yeah.
And even in the rustic, like yeah, you're getting some sapwood and stuff like that, but it's pretty, I mean, look at this. I think they both look really great.
Couple notes on cherry. These are called pitch pockets or sap pockets. This is very characteristic in cherry, all these little guys. And then also on the rustic, you are going to get some sapwood, and that will actually not darken over time, and it will give sort of an interesting visual effect.
Do cherries grow on cherry trees?
That's why they call them cherry trees. I mean, these are wild cherry trees. They have very black, darkish bark that's very textured, and they are very, that's why you get this sort of wild grain. That sort of thing, you can tell that the tree had fun growing. Wiggly trees make sort of interesting dynamic grain, and then the trees that are just like, I am a tall tree, that's when it's straight grained.
Yeah, you get more of the straight grain and this very consistent cathedral.
That's what all these are called, by the way. This patterning is called cathedrals, and cherry is very cathedral-y.
Next up, another classic American furniture wood, black walnut.
Love it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Great.
Yeah, walnut has some of the
Wow.
best rustic features.
If you're looking for character, Walnut's got your character for you.
This probably has even crazier grain because you get like crotches where two branches come together and do crazy stuff like this, crazy stuff like down here. And you got really, really straight grain, cathedrals.
Strong,
Sapwood.
again, you do have a sapwood, heartwood distinction, but with the walnut, the cherry, it's usually pretty pronounced. The walnut, they bleed into each other a little bit more. The classic James Bond of woods. Nice, deep, dark, earthy wood color that has a lot of character and a lot of class.
So is that all domestic woods we just went over?
think we just hit all
Thank
the
you.
domestic.
Yes,
Thank you.
this again, another American domestic hardwood.
So rustic was only for our domestic lineup. Now, all of the exotics are just going to be the premium or the standard grade.
Let's get exotic.
I gotta admit something. When it comes to the woods that have the crazy color, when someone would come up and be like, can you imagine having a Purple Heart table? I'm like, you're insane. Where the hell are you gonna put a table that's this color? Originally, seeing a Paduk desk changed my mind, and now seeing it even more consistent in the topper, this is gorgeous. Like, look at the color. And it patinas beautifully too.
Yeah, and it gets actually more of like a maroonish, darker brown as it ages, which is really nice.
Great mix and match wood.
This looks good with wenge, with maple. Oh, what's next?
What is it?
Zebra wood, which is exciting because that is an exclusive wood.
Can we throw a little curveball and get the zebra wood hex table just to mix it up?
Yeah, no, let's
yeah,
go.
let's-
Zebra.
This looks so good. Zebra wood is a busy wood. I thought this was gonna be a mess. It looks so nice. Biggest variation, I would say, as far as like lights to darks. And then you can go from really, really light to pretty dark, almost
Yeah.
walnut.
Zebra wood over time goldens out as well. So the lighter areas sort of become a little bit more rich, a little bit more yellow. It ages very nicely.
It's like lightning. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like lightning right there. It's so cool.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
Love their table and just be like, fuck it, I'm getting a coffee table.
Sure,
Like,
Yeah.
sure.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Hey, let's get down, guys.
let's get down
Yeah,
there.
let's get, yeah.
Wenge.
I love this. I love this.
Wenge tables look amazing.
I'm talking about the shape.
form factor.
This is a great shape, but
it's storage
Storage.
by
Look
your
at all
coffee
this
table.
stuff
Damn,
in
that's-
here.
what's in there?
There's a
Look
bunch
at all the
of
stuff in here.
puzzles and all sorts of.
Tons of variation in the types of grain on Wenge. Color's pretty consistent, but you have this like the flat grain where you get these weird little zigzag flecks. And then you have like probably some of the best quarter sawn grain or straight grain.
You'll see that's like real dark line, real light line, real dark line, real light line. You see like that variegation. So that is caused by the seasonality. With the tropical woods, it's wet season, dry season. Wet season, the wood just grows a different color.
Oh, one more. Last. Purple Heart.
beautiful.
Here's another surprise. How good and classy it looks. It's very gray when you first mill it, then it gets like violet, hyper purple, and then it kind of mellows out to a nice maroon over time.
What makes wood change color is mostly sunlight exposure. If you want to actually darken up your cherry table, put it by a nice open window. If you want to preserve the color as long as possible, get it down in the basement.
Very straight grain, very clear grain, not a lot of knots, no sapwood whatsoever. Purple Heart is one of the heaviest woods, it's one of the hardest woods, it's one of the toughest woods, it's one of the strongest woods.
And look at this. Look at the
Yeah,
twins.
you do
Look
get
at this.
quite a lot of figured grain like that. You get quite a lot of this ribbon, striped tiger grain, whatever you call it. And then just kind of the regular clear grain as well. Accessory
These
woods.
are the table wood. We just covered every table wood. We are going to have limited time accessory woods that we normally do not carry.
accessory exclusive woods.
Right.
Limited time offering. Leopard wood.
Also known as lace wood.
This has like distinct spots, which is why it's called lace wood. It has that kind of lacy grain. Black poison wood.
Scary.
Sometimes known as Chechen. This has kind of like greens and yellows.
It's gorgeous.
This is a fan
Browns. This is, everyone loves it. Like, I don't think the camera's actually gonna capture how awesome black poison wood is.
Close cousins with the Bolivian rosewood. Bolivian rosewood is absolutely gorgeous.
Can get very different. Like you could have a piece that's as dark as this, or this entire thing could be as light as this end cap here.
And for the ballers, ebony. We call it ebony. This one I believe is Macassar ebony. Occasionally it'll switch up to Gabon or Amara. Ebony is their sourcing, very rare, very expensive, and so sometimes you've got to make it out of the type of ebony you can source. They're all extremely dark. They're all pretty similar to this. Obviously the darkest wood we offer, even darker darker than the Wenge.
Yep.
Another great mix and match wood. You know, a black accessory, that's gonna look good on pretty much anything.
That's the full offer.
That's the full offering.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So yeah, buy cherry.
No, don't do that. Don't buy cherry. Wow, no. Get the walnut. We have payment plans. You only live once.
Yeah,
Go off.
Yeah.
Have fun.
go.
Do it.